What can you say about having a joint account?
To me, having a joint account, is it as married people?
Yes, let's say as married.
Okay, to me it's nothing, does not mean anything. At least there's nothing bad in having a joint account. That one is different from your personal account. You understand?
Okay.
You know, as a woman, you have your own personal savings account. Same thing as a man too. And there's nothing bad in having a joint account. That one can be for emergency needs. You understand? If there's any need that might, want you, both of you, to just do something, you can remove from the from the joint account. And also, if you guys are planning on having, maybe if you have some projects as a family to do, you can also touch the money from the joint account. So to me, there's nothing bad in having joint accounts. It's good, and it will help them in the future.
Okay,
Thank
so,
you.
Mr. Tim.
I would like to antagonize what you've said, because we've seen over time how that people have misused the concept of joint accounts in marriages. I can prefer I don't want to say solution, but a better way of handling things like that. The main purpose of, the main core for people saying let's do joint accounts is for the quote of, so that we can have funds in case of emergency. If you're not around, I can be able to access money. Ideally, if your marriage is one, you should be able to even access to your husband's money, whether or not he's not around.
Please come again.
Now, the concept of joint account is because people want to, in case of emergency, one, if case the husband is not around and the wife needs to access money. So if there's a joint account, the wife can easily go to the, account and access the money. But I'm saying that if your marriage is at the normal standard that is supposed to be, where two becomes one, you should be able to access at least an account of your husband. Now this is the solution I want to, a better option of me, a better option of joint accounts for me is that, as a man, you should have a budget, know what it costs to take care of that family in a month. And this is not a constant, because as of course the economic situation of the world is not constant, and of course as you give birth, the amount varies. So, but you have a mean estimate of how much the family spends in a month. Now, as the man, you have the sole responsibility to provide for the family. Now, the wife doesn't mean that the wife is sitting down doing nothing. Now, from experience, from observation, you know the amount that you spend in a month, and of course, you should not. Your salary should be able to cater for that. So you should dedicate a portion of your salary for that will run the family for that month. And also, you should allow your wife also to contribute her own quota. You should not pressure her. Just let her know that if you are contributing, fine, but you need to contribute in order to even earn respect from your husband. So you remove that money that you spend in a month, including medications, transportation, and basic feeding. You put that money in an account. The account will have ATM. The wife will have access to that ATM. It is the wife. The wife is supposed to be the builder of the house. The wife is supposed to be the manager of the house. So you supply the money, you give the wife the ATM,
Okay.
and that money that you've supplied, your wife also can also contribute to it.
Okay.
But I would like it to be in her own way. I like a guy to take the responsibility. So she contributes the earning. So once you've done that, and you're observing as a man from afar, and you're seeing that, the money is the money that you've dropped might not be enough, you cannot show love again by dropping some extra, or calling back to drop some extra. Why I'm saying this is that the concept of joint accounts always bring about problem, quarrel, and disloyalty, distrust. You have created an avenue for people for the husband and wife to start hiding something. You get? These are what we've seen, that I've observed and seen over time. So I've decided that you as a guy, you should know the budget of how much it costs for your family to live in a month. And of course, you should not live above your income. cut it down to your income, and every month as you receive your salary or any of the money that comes into your hand, you remove it out. And of course, you should have a very good, sensible wife who will also drop something. And you put that money in an account and give the wife the ATM, the PIN, the everything to access the account.
That's joint account.
It's not joint account. You are.
So
So
whose signatory will be on the account?
It's the husband's account. It's understanding.
Wait.
Wait.
See, joint account is not a must. Okay? It is not a must that we must have a joint account.
All right.
It depends on the two parties. It depends on both of them. If they understand each other enough and they know that they can undo it, fine. No, see, there will be issues.
There will
always be issues. Even the one you are talking about.
One, there's no issue.
There will be. What if the woman tells the husband, okay, I want to take out of this money. What if the husband tells the woman, no, you cannot only for work on.
No,
because
that's one of the problems that happens in
see
joint
whether
accounts.
it is joint account or it is just a personal account, maybe savings account of the husband or of the wife that both of them can now save it. They will still have issues. There will be a time.
Can I
see, that's why I say it is not a must. You understand? So it depends on both parties, and they should be able to resolve any issue. You understand? So it is not a must.
That's what you just said now.
But there's nothing bad.
What you just said now is a major problem in joint accounts, because in joint accounts, a party tends to violate the reason for the account. Now, in a joint account, what you just said now is the major reason and major problem in joint account, because there's always a tendency for a party to violate the core reason for having that joint account. So that's why I say the reason for having a joint account is so that you cannot be, your wife doesn't need to call you to run the family. So as a guy, that's the best solution. Wait, for me, that account, after you get in the cost of what runs your family for a month, carry that money and put it to your wife's account.
okay.
Now, if your wife have any other thing, expenses to do, emergency, that is beyond the calculation that you have done before, she cannot bring it to the table, and you cannot sit down and reason together and do the needful. And you cannot think if you should include that to the next budget of the family for the month.
Okay. See, please, I want to say something. You said something. You said, you said, what if the woman needs to remove out of the money to do something? You're talking about the joint account, Abby.
I'm saying that what you said is one of the basic reasons that causes problem in joint accounts. Why? Because a party tends to violate the reason for the account. In other words, some people might have a joint account just to run the family in case of emergency, in case of maybe food, and to run the family as well. But you see instances that an expensive will just come from nowhere that is beyond what you guys have agreed before. The wife will just go without even informing the husband and withdraw that.
But the wife will also have normal savings accounts now. Both of you are not depending on the joint account.
Wait.
So the joint account can be for projects or emergency needs. There must be reasons why you want to have a joint account.
The little time I've spent, I've understood that there's a way the psychology of a woman works. Now, when a woman knows that she has that access to that account, the woman will not touch her money until that money in that joint account.
That woman that's not a responsible woman.
Except for that.
No.
Okay.
That's not a responsible woman.
But what you're trying to say, if I get it very well, is that you just open a special account and be putting money for it into that account.
Take an account of your wife, and that account is dedicated to run the family. Every family should have an estimate of what this family spends.
What if the wife touches the money?
At that time, you already know how irresponsible your wife can be in terms of finances. Then you think of another way to do it.
Sir, don't you think we are still talking about the same thing we are running away from?
No, it's the same thing, but that's what I said.
The approach is different.
Exactly,
it's the same thing.
I've said that. I prefer another option to joint account. That's what I started with. That the concept of joint account is good, but this one I just said, we make it to be obvious that now when you do this one in the first 2 months, is the wife. To be obvious that the wife does not know how to manage funds.
Okay, well, instead of that, why
given
don't,
Sir.
you people transfer money into
Sir.
our account?
Sir.
Like the normal.
That's what I just said.
Sir, having a joint account we even give it will cultivate, it will make the wife to cultivate the habit of saving money. You understand? Yes, now it will make them to have that habit of
this
saving
the reason
money.
why I said I buy a there with her. If, for example, if you are dropping 200,000 naira in the account, joint account monthly, and she's not dropping anything, then there's a logic that works within a man that this account is meant to be joint. Now, why is it that it has turned to a sole
Before
account?
they open the account, they would have
You understand?
so agreed.
Be able to know how responsible she is in contributing into the account by having the joint account.
Yeah, that's one of the benefits.
But ma, you mentioned something now that when you were talking about supporting the joint account, you said they can have a joint account and at the same time have their individual account, which of course is not bad. But in a situation whereby you know that your wife, is sending like 150,000, 500,000, but the amount
Joint account.
she earns like
Okay,
that,
she
maybe
earns,
she
okay.
earns something like that, or at least she's sending some income. Then you now look at her worth, and instead of now dropping something tangible into the account, she's like dropping like 10,000 naira.
She's dropping below the expected or the agreed money.
Now, and you know that this woman is also working, or she has a very viable business running, and she's not dropping something less amount of money into the account while you are dropping the bigger part of it into the account. But this same woman is the one that will be saying, we need this particular thing to run the family and withdraw the money from
See,
the joint account.
the best thing you can do is just sit her down, talk to her, ask her questions. She's your wife, she's your woman. Ask her, babe, I noticed that you've not been there's a way you say it though. Don't say it in a way that would make the woman to be angry. I noticed you've not been that active with our joint account. What is the problem? Talk to her, let her know what's up. Fine, if she has a business that she's running aside the salary job, maybe she's investing, you understand, into that business. You can't tell, so just ask her questions. But if she's not, then you need to find out where the money is going to. And please, women out there, I'm begging you, don't put all your how will I put it, don't put all the loads, it's not burdens now, don't put everything on the man. You have to support the husband, to support with the little you have, even without touching the joint account. You can do something. But when you have maybe a big project to do that is beyond your power, then you can now talk to the can we take out of our savings, you understand? Just talk to the husband.